Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive with us. So today we're going to be looking at this really fascinating article from Rich Woman magazine. It's called Feeling Good and Happy, Trading Your How for the Wow W. And it's by Dr. Marina Nani.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was published pretty recently too, last November.
Oh, yeah.
It basically talks about this really simple mindset shift that can help you overcome self-doubt and approach any challenge with more enthusiasm and confidence.
For sure. For sure.
And one of the things I found super interesting was this idea that saying wow can actually make you feel more capable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not just about expressing surprise. It's like a secret weapon or something.
That's wild. I'm curious to hear more about that.
Yeah, me too. So the article starts off with this really relatable story about Dr. Nani and how she kind of hit a wall after this huge book tour. She was on the road for 1,000 days straight. Can you imagine?
Oh, wow.
I know. So she finally gets back to London and she's looking at this mountain of a to-do list and she just feels completely stuck.
I've totally been there.
Right. And the thing is, it's not even about lacking the skills or the confidence to do the things. It's something deeper,
Yeah, totally.
It's sometimes it's not even what needs to be done. It's just the feeling of being overwhelmed that paralyzes you.
Exactly. And that's what Dr. Nani realized was happening to her, too. She was stuck in this loop of asking herself all these how questions. How can I possibly get all of this done? Or how do I even begin to tackle this?
I do that all the time.
Right. It's the word how itself becomes this mental roadblock.
It's true. It's we don't even realize how often we default to how. How am I going to pay rent this month? Or how can I possibly learn this new skill? I guess it's kind of natural to want to have a plan, but maybe that's where we go wrong.
Well, that's exactly what Dr. Nani is saying. She says that when we frame our questions with how, it subtly shifts our focus to all the obstacles and the potential problems that could arise. So instead of looking at what we can do, we get fixated on everything that could go wrong.
Right. So instead of feeling empowered to take action, we end up feeling defeated before we even start.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see how that how can be a real confidence killer.
It really is. But here's where things get interesting. Dr. Nani suggests that we swap out that doubt-laden how for a wow.
Okay, but she doesn't just mean literally saying the word wow.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not about just saying the word. It's about cultivating a completely different feeling, one of possibility, self-belief, and excitement.
So instead of how am I going to finish this project, it becomes, wow, I am going to get this done.
Exactly.
It almost sounds too simple, but I can see how that kind of shift in language could have a big impact on how we approach the task.
Yeah, it's about flipping the script.
Yeah.
Moving away from problem-focused thinking to a more solution-focused approach.
Sure. I like that.
So instead of feeling like you're constantly trying to solve problems, you start to see yourself as the creator of your own experience.
That's so powerful. Another thing that really stood out to me in the article was Dr. Nani's deep dive into the word enthusiasm. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm a total word nerd, so this part really got me thinking.
I can imagine.
I'd never really thought about the origins of the word before, but she points out that it comes from the Greek word entheos, which means possessed by a god or inspired.
Whoa.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's pretty powerful.
In ancient Greece, enthusiasm was associated with poets, prophets, even military leaders, people who exhibited this incredible passion and confidence, almost like they were channeling something divine.
Yeah.
And even though the meaning of the word has evolved over time, it's still fascinating to think about that original connection between enthusiasm and this feeling of unstoppable drive.
I agree.
So is it kind of
No.
by embracing wow and tapping into that enthusiasm, we're actually reclaiming that sense of inspiration and power?
Exactly. That's the idea.
That's so cool. So Dr. Nani believes that this seemingly small shift in mindset can actually have a ripple effect on our lives, impacting everything from how we handle deadlines to how we pursue our passions. But the question is, how do we actually make this shift from how to wow in our everyday lives? How do we actually integrate this into our routines and make it stick?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And luckily, Dr. Nani offers some really practical tips in her article that we can start using right away.
Perfect. Let's dive into those next because, let's face it, we could all use a little more wow in our lives.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, so one of the first things Dr. Nani talks about is this idea of consciously reframing our language, actually catching ourselves when we slip into those how questions. and making a conscious effort to flip the script.
Okay, so like,
Okay. Wow.
instead of saying, how can I possibly meet this deadline? I would say, wow, I'm going to crush this deadline.
Exactly. It might seem like a small tweak, but the impact it can have on your mindset can be huge. Because instead of focusing all your energy on the problem, you're shifting it to a solution. And the feeling of accomplishment that comes with it.
I see. It's like we're kind of tricking our brains into feeling more confident and capable just by changing the way we talk to ourselves. It's like that saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, our thoughts and beliefs really do have a powerful impact on our actions. And speaking of powerful tools, Dr. Nani also talks about the power of visualization. She suggests taking a few moments to really vividly imagine yourself succeeding. Like actually picture yourself achieving that goal and experiencing that wow moment.
Okay, yeah. I can see how that would be helpful. Like instead of getting bogged down in all the how-tos and the details, you're allowing yourself to actually feel the feeling of accomplishment before it even happens.
Right, it's like a mental rehearsal for success. And Dr. Nani even emphasizes the importance of actually feeling the excitement, the joy, the sense of accomplishment. That comes with achieving your goal. Because those positive emotions can be incredibly motivating.
Oh, for sure. It's like giving your brain a preview of the reward, which makes it that much more eager to put in the work.
Exactly. You know, another thing that really resonated with me from Dr. Nani's advice was this idea of choosing curiosity over perfection. She argues that instead of getting so hung up on figuring out how to do something perfectly, we should approach challenges with the sense of exploration, like a let's see what happens kind of attitude.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm definitely someone who struggles with perfectionism, so I love that idea of embracing curiosity instead. It's like giving ourselves permission to experiment and make mistakes without feeling like we have to get it right on the first try.
And a lot of times, it's in those moments of experimentation, those aha discoveries, that we stumble upon the most creative solutions.
It's true. It reminds me of how kids learn, you know? They're not afraid to try new things, to get messy, to make mistakes. It's like somewhere along the way, we lose that sense of playfulness and curiosity and become so focused on doing things the right way that we end up stifling our own creativity.
Absolutely. And that kind of playful, curious approach aligns perfectly with the wow mindset. It's about approaching challenges with a sense of wonder and enthusiasm rather than fear and self-doubt.
It really is. This is making me think about all the times I've held myself back from doing something because I was afraid of failing or not being good enough. Like, what if instead of asking, how can I do this perfectly, I asked myself, wow, what can I learn from this experience?
I love that. That's such a great reframing.
Thanks.
And I think that's what Dr. Nani is getting at here. This shift from how to wow. It's about so much more than just achieving goals. It's about transforming our relationship with challenges and embracing the journey of growth and discovery.
That's beautiful. It's like she's giving us a roadmap, not just for achieving our goals, but for actually enjoying the ride along the way.
Right. And, you know, Dr. Nani also argues that this shift in mindset can actually have a tangible impact on how we see ourselves and interact with the world.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not just about like feeling good.
It's about recognizing that we're not just passive bystanders, but active creators of our own lives.
That's empowering. So instead of feeling stuck and overwhelmed, we start to see possibilities and opportunities everywhere. And we become more proactive and creative in shaping our own experiences.
Exactly.
Wow.
And that's what's so exciting about this whole wow mindset. It empowers us to step into our full potential. But it's not about denying the challenges or pretending that everything is easy. It's about choosing to approach those challenges with a different attitude, one of possibility, excitement, and self-belief.
So it's not about ignoring the how altogether. It's about shifting our focus from the problem to the potential, from the fear to the excitement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, Dr. Nani actually has this great line in the article. She says that everything happens twice, first in our minds and then in reality.
That's so true. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've talked myself out of something before I even tried it, just because I didn't believe it was possible.
Right. And on the flip side, think about all the times you achieved something you never thought you could, simply because you believed in yourself and went for it. That's the power of the wow mindset. It starts with a belief, an inner conviction that you are capable of achieving amazing things.
So it's like the wow is both the starting point and the destination. It's the belief that fuels our actions and the feeling we experience when we achieve what we set out to do.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the core message of Dr. Nani's article, that by trading our how for wow, we can unlock our potential, boost our confidence, and create a more fulfilling and joyful life.
I love that. This has been such an eye-opening conversation. I'm already feeling so inspired to start incorporating some of these, wow, strategies into my own life. But before we wrap things up, there's one more thing I wanted to touch on. Dr. Nani talks about the importance of regularly reviewing our progress, not with a critical eye, but with a sense of wonder and enthusiasm. She encourages us to treat our goals not as burdens, but as journeys we're privileged to be a part of. What do you think about that?
I think that's such a beautiful way to reframe the whole idea of goal setting, because so often we get so caught up in the end result, the destination, that we forget to appreciate the journey itself.
Totally. It's like we're so focused on getting to the top of the mountain that we miss out on all the incredible scenery along the way.
Exactly. And that's where the wow mindset comes in again. It's about finding joy in the process, celebrating the small wins, and appreciating the lessons learned along the way. It's about seeing the beauty in the struggle, the growth in the setbacks, and the magic in the unexpected detours.
It's about shifting our perspective from, I have to do this, to I get to do this. And suddenly the whole journey becomes an adventure, a source of excitement and growth, rather than a source of stress and pressure.
You got it.
Yeah, it really is all about perspective, isn't it? Like moving away from feeling limited to feeling like anything is possible.
Exactly. And that's what I love about Dr. Nani's work. She gives you these practical tools and insights
Yeah.
that you can actually use to make those changes and ultimately, live a more positive and fulfilling life.
Totally. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty fired up after this deep dive. I'm ready to ditch the how and embrace the wow in every aspect of my life. Are you?
Oh, yeah, me too.
Okay, awesome. So just to recap everything we talked about today, we learned that trading how for wow can unlock hidden potential, boost our confidence, and even make those everyday experiences more fulfilling. And it's not just about saying the word wow over and over again. It's about really cultivating that mindset of possibility, approaching challenges with excitement, and truly believing in yourself.
For sure.
But here's a final thought to leave you with. If you could approach any challenge in your life with that wow attitude, what would it be and what could the outcome look like?
That's a good one.
We encourage you to try applying the wow mindset to your own life and see what happens. You might just surprise yourself with what you're able to achieve when you face challenges with enthusiasm and a belief in your own abilities.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, but thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep that wow spirit alive.
Seal in my mouth.